Hello, welcome back to another first appearance rating video, and let's start out with one of Kirby's. Okay, Omac, probably my least favorite cover of Kirby work in the 70s with DC. It's for #1 issue. I felt that the layout and the color, everything was kind of weak. You know, when you have an mostly white cover, I'm not a big fan of that. Omac was created near the end of Kirby contract with DC, so perhaps that play a part in how much effort he put into it. I'm just speculating. But Omac, actually, the look of Omac himself, you know, the mohawk look, is pretty cool. I actually like his look. The character itself, the first time I saw this cover, it was bizarre. Okay, I'm pretty sure everyone had the same feelings, like what the heck is this? But you know, if you read the story, basically this is a robot that came in a box like this in pieces, and then the person that received the robot would put the pieces together to create a female robot, and sometimes the robot will blow up and kill you. It uses a tool for assassinate people. Omac is one of those characters that I actually think DC kind of swept away and really didn't pay much attention to it, and I felt that he has room in the DC universe, and too bad that, you know, after Jack left, the character kind of got abandoned over the years. For those that don't know, Omac stands for One Man Army Corps. One of those abbreviation. One Man Army Corps. So as you can see, you know, I may criticize the cover as being weak, but trust me, Kirby interior work is pretty good with Mike Royers. Okay, there's very little to complain about the art inside. The story was okay. You know, I mean, if I had to give Omac a rating of his look, power, name, I give it a 3.5. I thought the look was pretty cool, fairly unique with the big mohawk. But the story was okay. I give the story a 2.5. It's average, you know, nothing shattering, nothing so great that I couldn't wait for the next issue or read it. In fact, I think I read #1. I had this issue for a while. This is my reader's copy, and I don't think I have, you know, I have never looked to buy issue 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. I don't even know how many issues there were as far as for this title, so that kind of gives you my attitude about this storyline. I give it 2.5. It's average. So the character and the book get a 6/10 from me. Certainly not one of Jack's better creation at his time at DC, but as I mentioned, you're talking about near the tail end of his contract at DC. Next up is one of my favorite characters. I wouldn't put him in my top 5, but he's high up there. A character that is cool enough to entice me to shoplift. You know, not that many characters, no other character have ever done that, but for this character to wow me and get my attention to a point where I felt that, you know, I don't have the money to buy it, but I want it. I need to have the copy. So the youngster in me shoplifted that book. I mentioned that in a previous video before. Ghost Rider. Okay, this is Marvel Spotlight #5. I will save the close-up of this book for another time when I do a spotlight on Mike Plug, okay, the artist. So for now, crazy hard book to find in high grade, crazy hard book to find with perfect centering because of the whenever you have text, like I mentioned, when you have text on the bottom, on top, any kind of crooked centering will cut off the word. So if you can see my copy, it's not quite perfect centering because it's kind of going downward and it almost cut right here, cut off. So it's slightly slanted one way, but as far as the spine, perfectly centered, which make the book hard to avoid any kind of spine creases. So this copy is about between 8 and 8.5. I'm pretty content with this copy. I'm not going to look to upgrade it anytime soon or ever. But look, name, power, once again, not much is shown in this very first appearance, so there's no way to tell what his range or scope of power is. Because of that, I give the look of a name 4 out of 5, okay, because you don't get to understand what his power is, not from just reading this one book, but as far as the look and the name, darn, awesome. I mean, I love the flaming skull. I love motorcycle, so definitely a 4 out of 5 as far as the look for me. And as far as story and origin, it's frustrating to me to only give it a 3 out of 5. I wanted to give a higher mark, so this book get a 7 out of 10 for me. Okay, the art is okay. Certainly, as I do the spotlight on Mike Plug, I will show you that Mike Plug is still in his early stage of his career. He has not yet refined into the great artist that he will be just a year later. So he's still fairly rough in this book, just like the Marvel Spotlight 2, where he draw Werewolf by Night, the character. So it's not as great as it could be, but still it's pretty decent. In fact, it's better than Marvel Spotlight number 2 as far as his art in this book. But the origin could have been done better. The story could have been better. I give it 3 out of 5 because it's somewhat original, but I kind of didn't like the fact that he found a way to, he found a book, he found a way to make a deal with the devil, Diablo, in order to extend the life of his foster parents, guardian. He have a tragic life where his parents were killed, and then he lived with another family, and the father was dying. I haven't read this book in a while. I should have read it before I make the video, but I believe the father was dying of some kind of disease. So he made a deal. He found a way to make a deal with the devil, so to save his father. To me, it would have been better off if he had some kind of special skills that the devil approach him and make a deal with him, and that I can help you save your father if you trade your soul, instead of him initiate the trading the soul thing. Because how does anyone know what to do? So it's kind of, that part I didn't care for. Regardless, his father didn't die of the disease, but he did die in the crash of the motorcycle. But like I said, it's a fairly decent story, fairly original, enough that I like it, and I give this book a 7 out of 10. I wish to have given it a lot higher mark. The third book, is Detective 405. Okay, beautiful New Adams cover. I don't think I have ever shown this book before, so I'll give a closer look at the end of the video. The first intro to the League of Assassins. This book is extremely difficult to read because, much like Raja Ghul, the way Danny O'Neil lay out this League of Assassins is gonna stretch over many books and stories, so there isn't much explained. This is the art inside is not by Neil Adams. Bob Brown did a competent job, but you have basically one assassin. There's a mention of a League of Assassins at the end, and a promise that there are much more to come as far as a League of Assassins coming. So the name is cool. Okay, like I said, this is a very tough book to rate because there's just not enough. Just like first intro of Raja Ghul, it's just really hard. But as far as the name, League of Assassins, definitely cool, definitely intriguing, but you don't know who's a member of the League. You know, I mean, for the one killer that was in this book, he's nothing special. So for that, I reluctantly can only give the name a 2.5. And then as far as the story, once again, you know, because it's not much, I also can only give it an average rating of 2.5. So to get this book, get a 5 out of 10. Heck, if I was rating on the cover, I'd give this cover a 9 out of 10 for this beautiful, gorgeous Neil Adams cover. But the interior, the story, only get a 5 out of 10 for me. And that's it for this video and rating. Thanks for watching. Okay, so here's a close-up look of this book. Gorgeous, perfectly centered, as you can see. See the back cover. Back cover is very clean. Beautiful, gorgeous Neil Adams cover. Introducing the League of Assassins. Okay, so here you go. Here's the interior, real quick, of Bob Brown work. As you can see, somebody was trying to blow up the boat with dolphins with bombs. And then, okay, they survive, even though the boat blew up, got into shore. And then there's a trap. Someone trying to kill them with a knife. Batman got caught in a trap. And then you have the final confrontation with a assassin. Okay, not a surprise. Batman kick his ass, and that's the end of that. And there you go. As I mentioned earlier, here's a little blurb about the League of Assassins and future intrigues. Just enough to get me interested in knowing more about who the leader of the League of Assassins is. But like I said, it's a fairly average story and art. So there you go. 2.5 out of 5 as far as the story and the art and the inside. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye.